Welcome back to Life and Style. We're right here on Relationship Wednesday, and we're now on This Is Us. This is that segment where we talk to couples. They bring their inspirational stories, their journeys. They tell us about how they met, how they've been, how they've lived, how it is. And of course, we draw some nuggets from them for you. And today, such an exciting couple with an amazing story. You don't want to go anywhere, so call your neighbors, your friends, whoever you know. Let them tune in right now for This Is Us, because I've got with me Soxxy and Anne. Welcome to the show. Yeah, I first knew you more as a DJ, and then I'm told your career went a different direction.
Yeah, I was a DJ Kitambo, but you know, in life you need, when you mentor people and you have people below you, you need to push yourself up so that they can come to your space. And so I still DJ once in a while, but rarely. I'm now more into broadcasting, presenting, and now doing other things, event management and that.
When you came in, the first thing you noticed were my socks.
Yes.
Is that where your name came from?
No, it's just I love socks. As you can see, very colorful socks. I love colorful socks. But my name, I was given my name when I was in high school. Dagoretti High School, aka the Great High School. And yeah, that's where life began. But it's not related to socks or anything.
All right.
It comes from the word Mosioki.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And there's a long story behind it.
And I'm told that it is in high school that you met Anne.
Yes, we met in high school. I was in the State House Girls.
You know, very interesting, because I've got a daughter who went to State House Girls, and then I've got a son now who is at Dagoretti.
Yeah, for real? Hey, nice. But let me tell you, then, Stato used to insist they are our sister school. Because, you know, Dago, we were up there, so they used to insist that they were our sister school. But we used to say, no, they are not in our league. We were much higher than them. But basically, that's where we met.
Yeah. Okay. I knew of him in high school. We never really dated. He was in the band, and I was in Rangers. So when we go for Moi Day, Kenyatta Day, and we are marching, they're the ones who used to do the music.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
So you get to know each other, and then did you just pick it up from there?
Yeah. So in high school, what she's just said is very true. She used to know about me.
Rarely do couples agree on when they started.
You'll see how this story will go.
She used to know about me, but this is a true story. She used to know about me. I never used to know about her. I used to actually like her best friend, but she knew
never used to know. Okay.
I used to like her best friend.
You must know that everything you're saying here could be used against you.
It's the truth and nothing but the truth.
Okay.
And so, but way after we cleared school is when now we met. Yeah.
All
apparently now, when we were in high school, they used to read the letters that I used to send her best friend together.
All right.
So that's where I think she got interested in me. She used to like me, Chinyamaji, but we met way after we cleared school.
Is that the true version?
I never used to like him in high school. I just used to laugh at the fact that he's writing to this girl who's not really interested in him.
You know,
okay.
When in high school,
you never thought at all that the two of you could come together?
Never.
But you know, in high school, you know, when you don't get letters, when no one is sending you letters,
you read
other people's letters. And you enjoy reading those letters. So that's what she used to do.
It wasn't because she was comparing, you know, sometimes everybody comes with their letter and they want to compare the lyrics.
No, I used to shine, yeah. So, yeah, she never used to get letters. She confessed once that she never used to get letters. So she used to enjoy reading my letters. At least she used to get encouraged and consoled.
Now, later on in life, how did you meet to the place where you started dating?
So he opened an account at a bank I was working at.
Okay.
And we bumped into each other at the lift. And the person he was looking for, I knew them. So that's where
You were always placed where he's looking for somebody else?
Yeah, for some reason.
Like for some reason?
Because I was in Homeboys when I finished, when I was in campus. I was a DJ at Homeboys. He'd come to visit some
you were a DJ?
There. Yeah.
All right.
God was preparing me in many ways. So he used to come visit, and we'd see each other and say hi because we knew each other from high school. As in, there was always a point of connection in our lives. Yeah.
All right. So he came to open an account at the bank that you were working in?
Yes. Actually, he had opened it, had a problem, right? And he was coming to sort it out. So I directed him to the person. Then apparently by the time he was finishing, we were going for lunch. So we walked together as we caught up. Where have you been? What have you been doing? Yeah.
Yeah, actually the story is she asked me out for
Oh,
lunch.
no.
But this is true. Sema ukweli,
I
please.
just told you we are going for lunch.
So,
Lunch.
alisema hivi, we're going for lunch. Do you mind we go for lunch together? But so who am I? So we went. I've been invited for lunch. I don't want to break her heart now. So we went for lunch. So I told her we'll do this another day. So just before I left, she asked me for my number.
He asked me for my number.
So she asked me for my number. But anyway, I asked her for her number. I took her number. Then we exchanged numbers.
Okay.
So that evening, immediately she left work, she called me to ask me where I was.
He called me.
If we could do coffee together. And so we did coffee. Who am I to say no?
Were you at that particular point beginning to see somebody that you wanted to date, or it was just that catching up and,
Actually,
you know?
just broken
No,
up.
not really. I was just, no, sicheke hivyo unanichekelea na nimebreak up. I was being heartbroken and you're laughing at me. And I was feeling bad. Unaona vile wasichana wako? Yani me, I'm heartbroken and now she's laughing at me, trying to console me. But true, I just broken up. And so I was, actually to be honest, I was not ready for a relationship by then. I was from a relationship that, it hadn't ended badly, but I felt I had invested in something that didn't work out.
Who's that who broke your heart? It wasn't her friend from high school?
They never even
We
dated.
actually never
the
dated.
girl was not interested in
Wewe vitu zingine usiseme kwa TV. She was very interested. Yeah, it's just that. Yeah, you know, we were in different seasons. Yeah, we were in different seasons. But interest in high school, she was very interested.
Oh,
Yeah,
I never
bana,
thought.
cheza chini. Wewe, unachoma. But she was interested.
What was it that struck you about Soxxy?
The fact that we'd sit for hours talking and I'd laugh like half the time we are talking. He's very humorous and he sees small things that he just changes the whole perspective of it. I think that's what made me want to meet him date after date after date.
You just wanted to be in his presence.
Yes.
He had this feel-good factor
Yes.
that he brought around you.
Yes.
But you had seen him while he was in school, so he became a DJ. That didn't move you, right? Because you knew the person.
The other thing is, I was in the secular world. I was in Homeboys. He's in the gospel world. I had no idea that this guy is as famous on this side as in he had to even to tell me, listen to Hope FM. And I'm like, okay, Hope FM. I'm like, hey, yeah, this guy's on radio. You know, I didn't know that celebrityness of him then.
Okay.
Yeah, when I met him.
So you just knew the person.
Yes. The other thing, I was also a new Christian. So thank God even I bumped into him before I went back to my old ways. So when now listen to Hope, I'm thinking, okay, he's a presenter, etc. Yeah.
Okay. So part of your journey was you were guiding her in her faith.
Yes.
All right. But how long then did you take in your dating and courting before you got to a place of marriage?
Forever.
No, we have two versions, by the way. She has her
Finally,
version.
we get to the place of two versions.
Yes, she has her version, which I never understand. She'll tell you 4 years. I'll tell you 2 years.
Okay.
And in these 2 years, we had broken up like 2010 times. We were in different spaces in life. I was at a place where I was not ready. I wanted a relationship, but I was not ready for marriage.
Okay.
But she was at a place where she wanted to settle, you know. And with that brought a lot of conflict, you know. She felt like I wasted her time, you know, and I felt like she was pressuring me to get married, and I wasn't ready to get married. Actually broke up and moved on and dated other people for her. Me, I waited for her. Yeah, me, I waited for her. I waited for her. But to be honest,
I didn't date anyone. I didn't date anyone.
But it happens a lot with when people begin to date. It's like ladies initially know what they want. I know men know what they want later on in life. When they are older, they're a bit more sure and clear about what they want. When they're past 35, when a man comes, he may not even need a year of dating. A man at 35 onwards, he will come in and he wants to take you to the AG, if not into his house, you know, because it's very clear. At a younger age, men really are not very clear. but the ladies are. So there's this thing that comes out like the man is thinking, I still need time. The lady
Yeah.
feels like you're wasting you're wasting my time. What is this readiness feeling? How for a lady, what is this readiness feeling?
I think for girls, we know from a very tender age.
What happens to a man when he sees a black suit?
Oh,
My
you ran
son
away.
even knows. My son even doesn't know what a wedding is, but my daughter will be so wowed. I think we're just we are born naturals. We are born, so I think it's just a natural thing.
It's
Yeah.
something that you prepare for, like
And
nearly.
I think it's just an inborn thing. You're born to be someone who takes care of other people.
But you know, and even when people do things like wedding shows, when they bring the glamour, the focus is on the lady.
Yeah.
So this girl will see images, this girl will see pictures, this girl will see videos. So even if you've not talked to her,
She knows.
she knows. Talk about the breakups though. You know, how important was that for building your relationship? How important were the breakups?
I think for me it was moments where I knew that this is what I want. You know, I was certain this is what I want. Not now, but this is the person that I want to spend the rest of my life with. But I'm not ready now, so I was at a place where if God, this is your will, let it be.
Okay.
If it's not your will, let her go.
Okay.
And many times it's actually her who left me. Si ni kweli? Sasa, you want to know, but for real, is there a time?
You
Is there
left.
a time I left?
Yes.
When?
You're strong. Yeah,
And
but there's a time you left.
why did I leave? There has to be a reason why I left.
Why did you? It's a long time ago, but you left.
Yeah, I can remember
At
why.
208,
I can remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can
You
remember.
guys have known each other all
a
that while.
conversation.
You're talking
No.
about 208, it's 11 years back.
Yeah.
What I loved about the breakup is we were very honest with each other. Our dating was not a mask. We removed
Yeah.
our masks and we were very honest. He knew my past, I knew his past, I knew where he's going, I know what his challenges are, and
Yeah.
we were working on them. So
Okay.
at times, like now for example, I'm very spontaneous with my words. So I'd pour this word and he would not take it very well.
Okay.
So it would spark up some fire and we'd break up. So it helped us learn. I learned that he's someone, these words go so deep for him, so I need to tame myself. So it trained us actually.
And even just that pressure of she wants to get married. And I used to tell her, when I'm ready to get married, when I'm ready to marry you, I will tell you. And for her, she was, I am ready now, let's get married now. If you're not ready now, just go. You know? And so I was like, okay, if that's what you want, then it's okay. But after a certain number of months, like 2-3 months, she'll just come back to me. You know, she'll just go and find out that I'll rather just touch a Soxxy of mine, and she'll just atarudi tu mwenyewe tu answer. You know, akiniacha, I try to call her, she didn't answer my calls, I SMS, she didn't respond. You know, then I get tired and now I start moving on. Then one day I get a SMS ati hi, alafu another SMS ati oops, sorry, that was not meant for you. Just to test if I will respond.
But yeah, because she's gonna be creative,
Yeah,
you know.
but you see, for me, I would respond.
You know, but it is said that men don't know how to say sorry. I don't know whether women know how to say sorry.
They don't. They
Oh,
don't.
they have a way, right?
They do not.
Men say sorry with gifts.
They won't say with their mouth.
No, they'll come and that day he will buy a gift, he'll bring in something, or maybe do something that you had asked him to do before, like a certain chore. So the particular day he will be
sorry.
he's sorry. So it's not known whether it is 4 or 2 years.
It's 4 years. We met I can't even tell you the date, to 7 February 22nd. We got married June 18th, 2011.
2011.
So those are 4 years.
It's over 7 years now of marriage.
Yeah, maybe I think she was
We are
dating me
turning-
in her mind.
Yeah.
In high school.
But let's talk about the adjustment from the courtship into marriage. How was that for you? And what are those things that you needed to adjust when you came in? When you were meeting, when you were dating, you know, he represented a happy space. Of course, nobody would think that you'd be breaking up with somebody who would make you laugh like that. But you get into marriage. Was that the same experience, the same comedian in the house? Now you live together, serious matters. What are some of the adjustments that you had to make?
the comedian was still there, but I think with all the drama, the comedian was like 10% now and 90% of the drama. But I think money was a key thing for us that really stretched us, because I'm a spender and he's a minder.
What informed your money habits? Is it that, because I'm aware that you were in the corporate and then you had to give up your job at some point. Is it because you were used to earning and Soxxy was, for lack of a better word, he had to hustle his way?
He was a
Or
hustler.
is it personality?
I think it's both. Okay, it's a mixture of so many. First, because I started working very early.
Okay.
Second, I saw my dad live like that. As in, my dad was tuingia hapa tukule, tuingia hapa tununue. As in, there was no let's wait for tomorrow. My mom was the one, let's wait for tomorrow. And then what else?
Even just the fact that you see the way people tell you you need to open a joint account. I was against that nini. Why would we open a joint account and we put all our money there? Then
One person
one
is...
person spends it.
Yeah,
As in, let's maintain
yeah.
our accounts. We know the bills, you know. I'll take the huge chunk of the bills. Now this is you buying food, shopping, nini, you can do that. But this I'll pay for. And so now that was our issue. When now from her upbringing, she never used to see that from her parents.
My dad used to do everything.
Yes. your mom.
And I'm going to say this, you know.
Yeah, the dad used to provide for
yeah,
everything.
and my mom
the
used to manage everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they had good financial habits in a sense.
Okay. And I think even my dad used to trust my mom because he knew himself. If I have all this money, I'll spend it all.
You know, what you've said, and I needed to say this, that it's not always a must for you to have a joint account. You've got to understand your spending habits. You got to understand your financial goals, where you want to go in life, so that the manager should manage. Sometimes people have joint accounts and it brings trouble. You can be transparent. I think the main thing is transparency. Yeah, that you can run different accounts but still be transparent and just understanding each other's strength. But why did you quit your job?
Wow, my job had become my other life. So it was taking up so much of my time. I wasn't giving these guys enough time, my husband and the kids. So I needed to take a call. And I've always wanted to be home for my kids. So it was that time. It was that time I needed to leave. Though I'm not just at home. We have a business together. So that's what I'm doing there.
Oh, your job was a high job.
It was. I was head of marketing. It was crazy.
It was crazy.
It was crazy.
And then the men that would not allow their wives, you know, to quit, no matter how unhappy she is, because they've just taken a mortgage and then it's a 50-50 kind of arrangement and you have to bring in the money, I've got to bring in the money. And so, honey, if you quit the job, you know, we're going to suffer financially. What would you say, especially like for you who had that experience out there, what would you say to such a man?
Okay, it's a challenge. It's a huge challenge, especially because I've worked for 10 to 15 years and I was independent. But now, at some point, I have to go back to him and tell him, you have to sort this out. But what I've loved with Soxxy, he took it up because I knew by December I will be out of the job. So by last year, March, April, we started now delegating everything to him to see how it goes. And he hasn't made me feel like that is Subua or you're asking for too much. He's...
Ni vile tu sisemangi. Ni vile tu sisema.
No, but you haven't showed me yet. So it's a huge challenge and you have to cut so many things. Like now we were even contemplating, we have 2 cars, we have to sell off one. I have to start, you know, in Marikiti, you know, small things to just adjust the budget and make it, yeah.
All right, we're having such an incredible story right over here, and I need to let you know that we're coming to you from the village market. And of course, even right now, as we are talking, there's the smell of food. There's a place for the children. There are the malls, there are the restaurants, the hotels. Come and hang out over here. Beautiful, beautiful scenery. Bring out your family and your friends. Even when you want to unwind with your mates at work, your colleagues, you can just come and hang out over here. As I am doing with Soxxy and you know, the Joker.
They're not so serious, man.
But
Yeah.
see, let me just add on to the money issue. When we started dating, I was the hustler. I was not even hustler. I don't know what I was. I didn't have a job. You know,
Even the hustlers had not accepted you.
Exactly.
into their
Exactly. I was
club.
not even in the Hustlers Club. Being kicked out. But she used to be the one with the money,
Yeah.
the one with the car. So she used to pick me up, drop me off, you know, and to some of my friends it was funny.
How could you?
Know, how could you? Yeah, the chick is coming to pick you up, dropping you off at home. And so it never got to me where I felt like I'm inadequate. What it actually did, it pushed me to work even harder. I knew where I was going.
Yeah.
I knew that this was not my end. And so I trusted God for better days. And so even when now we got married and we had friends, because it has not been easy either way, because in business there are good days, there are bad days.
Yeah.
And so there were times that we would get issues, but it never used to get to me. And she never used to treat me different because I don't have it.
Right.
Because I am the same person whether I have it or I don't have it.
I love to say that men are seeds. Men are seeds that need good soil. And when they find a woman, the woman is soil. When they find a good woman, good soil, it falls in there, they moisturize, then their dreams begin to come. Then the man becomes the canopy, forms a whole tree, and then the man becomes a canopy, so that the very same thing that the ground had swallowed brings shelter. And sometimes women kill what is in the man, because at that particular point they feel they have the advantage, and so, you know, you're hustling and you need to get your own house and your own car and you need to find a woman of your own class, and they don't see what is in the man right there. You talked about...
Oh, wait, that's deep.
No, you're going to pay tithe from your company.
It's okay.
Dealer will follow. Yeah, you'll write a check. I'm not taking no small change. Not on national TV. You talked about the children, and you have a miracle story.
Oh.
About your children.
Actually, domains, when we got married, that was domain number one, the biggest domain in the house.
Yeah.
So when we were dating, I was diagnosed with a condition called PCOS. So one of the symptoms, side effects, I don't know, is infertility. So my gyna had already warned me, you might never get a child. And I remember even when we were dating, one of the breakups was because of that, because I told him I want a child now, and he's like, no, you better go home, you're not giving me a child now. Anyway, so we get married and I tell him we are trying for a baby now. And him is thinking, no, let's first get to know each other a year or two then. And I wasn't seeing how
That's a solid man right there. That's a solid, because it's mostly the other way. It's mostly the men who sometimes are putting the woman under pressure, you know, that they need a baby or something.
No, actually for Soxxy, no. And he kept on telling me, watoto wanatoka kwa Mungu. So I don't know why you have this pressure. Tukifika hapo, if God wants to bless us with a child, he will. If it's not, we will just live together and, yeah. So we started trying for a baby and it took us almost 3 years trying for that child. So the strain it put on our relationship was so bad. And we always say, if we didn't break up then, I doubt there's anything that will ever come and make us break up. Because I remember there are days we couldn't sleep in the same house. We needed to go to our best couple, because if we slept, one of us would leave. So yeah, and it was a string of medication, not working, doctor saying this, and nothing was really working.
Were you upset with yourself?
Of course. How am I a woman if I can't give this guy a child?
And then so you would let it out on him.
Yes.
He became your punching bag.
I was a very good punching bag. Daily, day in, day. Yani, I would actually see, ini dome unanitafutia hii. Ini dome inakuja.
It was so
I
bad.
sidestep it, but bado ana move na mimi. Yani,
it was so bad, I became insecure, because now I felt if I'm not giving him a child, he'll look for someone else who can. So we just sit umemwangalia and that's it.
At you're driving, alafu, someone passes, but you haven't seen that person passing. So you have to see side mirror or adjust. Maybe, you know, when you work with your mirrors, uangalie hivi kimako, oh, okay. Umeona umzindikishe. So now, bana, I hadn't even seen her, but very small things used to trigger. Yani, we used to have domains almost every single day. Then the issue was, I'm trying to encourage her. I'm trying to show her that I am actually feeling her. I'm trying to understand. I can't really understand you, but I'm actually trying to understand you. At times I would make foolish statements like, you know, we can live, you know, we can actually live without children for the rest of our lives. To me, I'm actually trying to encourage her. But to her, she's like,
that's insensitive.
That is being very insensitive. And when
There's never a right thing to say to somebody when they're...
or there are days that she's been given fertility drugs in the season, that month, and she's been told, this day, this particular day is that day. So you better make it happen. If it passes that window until next month.
And then that day you have a gig?
I am tired, I come home late, you know, nimengojewa kutoka saa 10. And I come in, I try to say, I'm tired, dome for the next month.
Because now the next month I do the fertility pills again. It was just crazy.
Were they having an effect on you?
Yes, headache, emotions. I used to cry. Remember, there's a time I decided to take a matatu, and the makanga just passed one stage. I cried. I cried. It was just a whole roller coaster of emotions.
At what point did the breakthrough come?
I remember I gave up. I remember one day I walked in. It was like at 10 p.m. Now, first stress at work. So I walk in, I've carried the dinner. I just gave Soxxy the dinner and I told him, now, we are not looking for this child. I'm not going back to the doctor, because the last appointment to the doctor, he had told us he's tried everything. Imagine I'm windy doctor telling you now, this is my end.
Nimefika mwisho yangu pa. Hapana taka pena wewe dawa ingine.
He's reached his end, and now the only option was IVF, or I do something they call ovarian drilling. Both costs were so high. So, not 100% guarantee.
Okay.
So I just came home and I told Soxxy, I'm done. I'm not looking for this child. Actually, after 2 years, we adopt and move on. And that's it. I think even in my mind, I needed to just break it. And
yeah, but at that point, we actually weighed our pros and cons. IVF is too expensive. Surgery is not as much. Still expensive,
yeah,
but surgery is not as much. So we started processing surgery. I remember we started processing, going for surgery in January sometime. January or February sometime. And at that point, I also started processing. So now this couple we talked about, and they have gone through this. This guy told me, have you gone for checkup yourself? I told him, no, never gone for checkup. So it's like, there's this doctor, me, I've gone for checkup. You need to be 100% that it's not her. Even you are okay, because you could be blaming her, but even you, maybe you have issues. So gave me the number to the doctor, book an appointment, just go see this doctor, do those tests that you need to do, so that at least it's not also that you're the one who has an issue. Yeah, so yeah, I started processing that visit to the doctor. It's not easy, but the heart was willing. The heart was willing. At least God came through before I went. God came.
And you have now 2 children. 2 children.
Yes.
And they've become like the center of your lives. Of course, after God and after yourselves, they become like the center of your lives.
Yes.
You document everything about it.
Because these are people we never even thought. I never thought a child would cry in our house. So when they came into our lives, it was just, at times I just stare at them, wonder, you guys, do you know where you came from? Yeah.
They're actually miracles, walking miracles. We look at them and we say, "Yeah, God."
Because even when I got pregnant and I went back to the guy, and he asked me, what did you do? I'm like, nothing. I didn't do anything. Me, I just went and left you with your IVF.
So what would you say, and before I say that, how do you balance? Because these are miracle children, they nearly become the center of your life. How do you balance between, just loving them and spoiling? Yeah.
It's halfway. It's in the middle. But the two, our firstborn is a girl, 4 years now. Secondborn is a boy, 2 years. They're very different, extremely different. The firstborn was very easy to bring up. She never used to have issues. She was just a good girl. You tell her this, she does it. But the boy, notorious. That boy, by the way,
Like he doesn't,
he knows how to push his limits. He knows how to push his limits.
So to the couples that, facing challenges as we wind up, to the couples that are facing challenges, especially when it comes to matters of baby, fertility and all of that, just look into the camera, talk to them.
Let me just say, one, you're going through this as a couple. It's teamwork. You're both in this together. May it not break you, because it's the love that you have. It's not the children that you are to get that brought you together, but it's the thing that you had those days that you met, that kind of feeling that you got, it was not about children, but now this situation has come, and one, you need to realize you have no control over it. The only person who blesses or gives children is God. So allow yourselves to enjoy this moment. Allow yourselves to enjoy this season that you are at. And also let me encourage you. It's not the report of the doctor. It's about God. The doctor has told you it will not work. Your friends have told you you can't. Your husband has told you no. Your wife has told you no. Believe in the report of God. God is able to do a miracle. He did it yesterday. He can do it today. You know, and so just know that God is still in the business of doing miracles, and He will do a miracle for you.
Your final statement.
I'd also say don't suffer alone.
All right.
Talk out, meet other couples, a couple that you can confide in. Also get a support group if you know of any. I started a support group for PCOS. So just reach out, talk, because I remember I suffered alone and it was killing me. So get someone you can talk to, walk with, share. Yeah.
All right. This is definitely an interview that I would love to have again, because I think there's a lot more that we just left out over there. And so looking forward to hosting you again on This Is Us. Well, that's all the time that we've had with Soxxy and Anne right here on This Is Us, coming to you from the Village Market. And I've been your host, Chris J. Atemo. Keep it right here. And for those of you who like asking people, when are you getting kids? Please get a life. Huh? Okay. God bless you. Have a lovely day.